All right, so for sub bass, it's pretty simple. You just basically copy this exactly. You don't have to make anything creative really right here. You could, some people like to make, this whole sub bass melody that kind of counteracts with the mid-range bass melody. I think for this genre, you want to keep it in a uniform fashion. You want everything to be kind of just playing cohesively. And for sub layers, you don't want to get too crazy because the sub is a heavy frequency. It takes a lot of energy and electricity to move the speaker cone. When you're playing really fast sub notes, it's not going to translate well a lot. And so with subs, you have to just kind of be simple, keep it simple really for sub bass. Let the note breathe is kind of the name of the game here. So we're just going to go ahead and basically copy the sub layer. So let's go ahead and solo it. I like to use this guy up here. It's called SubLab by Future Audio Workshop. It's a VST that is just dedicated to subs and different kind of sub layers. It's really, really useful. And some of these presets are actually pretty good and ready to go as it is. I like to use just pure sub and then pure sine. That's one of my favorites. And then let's see what we get. Okay. So if you have headphones on or you're listening on really large speakers right now with a sub, you might be able to hear that. If you're listening on PC speakers or earbuds maybe, you might not be able to hear that, but it's a low sub, and sometimes you have to, unfortunately, to mix sub bass is difficult when you don't have proper speakers or a sub in your studio. So I use Odyssey LCD2 closed back headphones. They're pricey, but they reproduce the bass really good. And if you're going to invest in a quality pair of headphones, I would advise to go in that direction for that company. Let's try raising it up an octave to see how that sounds. Okay, that's even too high. It doesn't even register when it's too high. It only plays a certain notes at a certain octave that has sub range. Okay, let's see how this sounds with the mid-range bass real quick. All right, let's solo this, and then let's actually just solo you. Okay, so the sub's not really, it's kind of slow. It's not really reacting that well with the rest of it. We can do some adjustments here. And since it's sidechain, we can just have the notes sustained. Just do a legato real quick. See if that works better. Let's try adjusting this a little. Okay, let's try taking it off altogether. Oh, and I also have it double, I believe. So the reason why I was pretty low is because I have a gain stage here, and then I have a gain stage here as well. So let's just get rid of that. Okay, now you might be able to hear it a lot better. Let's bring you way back down. Okay, let's try another approach here. The LFO tool isn't giving me the results I want. It's not as smooth as I'd like. It could be the VST. I can make some adjustments here. But first, let's see how it works if I sidechain this to the kick drum. So we're going to grab a compressor real quick, throw it on the sub layer here. And we're going to sidechain this guy to the main kick here. Let's turn you off. That kind of works better. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I might have this still pitch bending. Yep, that's what it was. Sometimes you have to do a little investigating. Okay, so the problem is that the oscillator was dropping down from this pitch bend modulation here, and it was making the sub sound really weird at the start of each note. So I can go ahead and delete all the automation. Okay, let's see how we are on now. Well, it's still, let's get rid of the automation. There's still a point that I'm missing, I think. Maybe that one. Nope. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. So the attack is really high. We want to bring this down a little bit. Okay, I think we're at a nice solid level there for the sub. So let me do some other, we don't need you anymore, obviously. I wanted to see if I can actually do something extra different here. Okay, so the kick has already got the full weight. There's no roll off on a kick here. I was gonna see if this was basically already rolled off to about 100 hertz, so that I could have, now that it's sidechained to the sub, they can share the frequency space. All right, I think we're sitting at a nice, pretty spot for the sub and the mid range. It's working well together. like once you have the sub, that's when the idea really, the glue comes together and it sounds complete. Now the idea is really coming together. Let's go ahead and move on to some overall processing for this whole bass line all together. So we're just going to adjust everything all together at once and see if we can just mold it to sound a little bit better.